the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. Hello there. Good morning to you from our London studio. Very well done indeed for joining us. You really are the hardcore F1 fans. I'm proud of you. Well, Bernie Ecclestone really started the ball rolling when he told us before the United States Grand Prix that Formula One must sharpen up its act. Since then, the desire for change has intensified.
As you can imagine, there's been a lot of discussion here in Suzuka about this document, which FIA boss Max Mosley has circulated amongst the teams. It contains 9 proposed changes. Some are aimed at improving the spectacle, others are designed to reduce costs. How about this, for example, drivers moving from car to car until they've raced for every team on the grid. After that, the man leading the championship gets to pick which car he wants for the rest of the season. 4 mandatory qualifying sessions, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, with the grid order determined by the aggregate times. More choice of tyres on offer, although each team will still be restricted to 2 compounds per weekend. A kilogram of ballast to be added to the car for every point scored. Only 12 days testing per team during the season and none at Grand Prix circuits. The new rule restricting teams to the use of only 1 engine per weekend to start from next year, not 2004. Gearboxes and other key components must last for a specified number of races. Only 1 design change to the car's bodywork during the season. Setup changes will still be permitted. Standardised brakes and electronics and ballast to stay fixed in one place all season. Max Mosley, the architect of the proposal, is here in Suzuka. Max, some of these suggestions are a bit far-fetched, aren't they? I mean, drivers switching from car to car, can you really see that happening?
Well, I think it would be very nice if it does happen, because it would be so fascinating to see certain drivers in certain cars. And of course, above all, we'd get rid of that idea that he only won the championship because he had the best car, or had he been in a better car, he would have won, and so on. So I think it would be a much better system, but it will be difficult to persuade the teams and everyone else to accept it. That's certainly true.
I was going to ask you about that. You're meeting with the team owners later this month. Do you have to have unanimous agreement, or is there some mechanism whereby you can force change through?
Well, you can never force it through, but we don't have to have unanimous agreement. It's a 26-man body, and we have to get 18 votes in favour. It's a rather strange sort of archaic system we have, but if we can get 18 people to agree, we can get something like that in. If we did get it in, then there were all the contractual problems that have to be looked at. So it's a fairly big hill to climb, but maybe we'll get there.
Why do you feel these changes are necessary?
Well, there's a definite trend for people losing interest and not watching, because Ferrari are winning by so much. Now, it's not Ferrari's fault, it's the fault of the other teams. But the fact is that if you know who's going to win, it is tempting to do something else on a Sunday afternoon rather than watch the Grand Prix. Now, if people do that all over the world, that's not good for Formula One. So we want to try and find a way, without interfering with the competition, still letting the best driver and the best team win, find a way to make it more interesting.
What's the timescale? Do you expect to see any of these proposals in place for the start of next season?
We may do, because we may see, if we did get the driver proposal through, we would certainly see it next season. And of course, if we got the other controversial one through with a kilo a point, again, that could come in next season. But it's difficult to say how far we'll get with this.
Well, thanks, Max. Well, that's the view from the top. Let's see what people down in the paddock have made of the suggestions.
Well, I like the idea of swapping the drivers around. I know that sort of everyone dismisses it immediately, but can you imagine that you select 20 drivers at the beginning of the season? These are your 20 Formula One drivers, and they're going to move around from team to team each race. So Michael Schumacher one day in a Minardi, Alex Young, if he's chosen as one of the top 20 drivers in the world, in a Ferrari. The change every race different, every sort of event a different contest. I think things like that, all right, those are the radical ones, and maybe that's not for the short term, but nonetheless, you know, don't dismiss it.
I think we all know that that's pulled from a sort of Viz magazine special, isn't it? You know, that's not really a serious, you know, you've got to have a serious proposal that you can offer me to give an opinion on.
The real problem is the performance of ourselves and Williams. Now, we're just not doing a good enough job. We've fallen well short of our potential, and the best way to make Formula One a spectacle in the future is to leave the regulations alone and let Williams and McLaren get their act together, and that's what we're doing.
Something must be done, and I think it needs to be done by somebody outside team principals. Because the team principals, they're never going to agree. It's a simple fact. To get 10 of us to sit down and agree on anything is quite honestly impossible.